Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I know it's been a minute, and I say that every time I come on here and make a video. But welcome back. I'm making this video because I want to share something that I recently noticed, just kind of thinking about the situation and meditating on it. And if you already on your spiritual journey and stuff, and you know, you're connecting and tapping in with yourself, you probably already noticed this, to be honest, but it's for sure something that should be talked about nowadays, especially if you have a platform. So the reason I'm making the video is because something I noticed that we're in a new timeline. We're in a new timeline on planet Earth. Everything done in the dark must come to the light. Everything. And that is the main thing that's going to cause this timeline to shift. The reason why you're seeing so much going on right now on the planet, as far as war, as far as just things getting exposed that the public didn't really know about a few years ago, and I'm not trying to fearmonger when I say the war and everything, because I know like there's nothing to be afraid of, but it's just a different time. We're living in different times, and we're on a new timeline. Things is gonna look a lot different. Like I said, what's done in the dark is going to come to the light. So everything is going to be exposed. Everything, And like I said, that's going to cause this timeline to shift, because the collective consciousness is going to become aware of the lies and the false reality, And ultimately the matrix, So on this new timeline, you have to align with it. You have to align. If you don't align, you're gonna fall off. You're not gonna make it into this. You can say new earth, but at the same time is more so of a just a frequency shift, for the entire planet, and that's how it is gonna seem like. There's a new earth, we're in a new timeline, a different timeline. So the old ways are gonna fade away, the old habits, just like I said, the collective consciousness is gonna rise and is gonna become more aware, because the veil is getting thinner. So in that case, if the collective consciousness rises, that means that everything that we once knew isn't going to be exactly how it used to be, everything, the way that we used to live, isn't going to be the new way of living, like it's going to be a new earth, a new timeline, a new way of thinking, a new way of moving. And like I said, you have to align with it. That's the most important thing. If you don't align with it, you're not going to make it, and it's going to be kind of sad. But at the same time, because there's a lot of people, of course, that's not going to align with it. They're not going to make it. Just point blank simple. But well, first, it's not funny. I didn't mean to laugh at that, but it's more so like, you have to be in alignment with it. You have to be in alignment with nature, with the natural cycle of the universe and the stars and the moon, and just everything in the natural world. You have to be aligned with it, because everything that was created has a goal, a purpose, a mission, a path that it must go towards and down. So we all have a reason for being here. We all have a purpose for being here. We all have the potentiality to upgrade, to shift, to become something bigger, we all have that within us, because like I said, everything has a purpose. Everything was created for a reason, and everything has something inside of it that's bigger than what you see on the outside. So when it comes to alignment, you have to align with the frequency of this new way of living and thinking and seeing and being. Ultimately, if you're not aligned with it, you're going to be stuck in the old ways, the old habits, the old earth, whatever you want to however you want to put it, you know. But you're just gonna get left behind, because there's this, like I said, there's new frequency, this new timeline that's taking over. That timeline is going to be a lot different, you know. It's not going to be the same as the old ways. And the main thing that's going to allow us to like see and realize that we're on a new timeline is the fact that everything that we once like thought about on a certain level is the truth is gonna be more exposed for you to change your way of thinking and of seeing, you know. And you can already see this happening. I mean, right now, like anybody who's paying attention can see that that's already happening, you know. So the only thing you could do is just, like I said, get in alignment with it, get in alignment with the frequency, get in alignment with the new timeline, the new earth, you know. Just get in alignment with it all, with nature, with the natural way of living, you know. And yeah, this new timeline is for sure going to be better, but you definitely have to, it's going to get worse before it gets better, you know. I mean, that's kind of common sense, because if there's an old timeline that's dying off, that timeline is going to crush or collapse as the new timeline is being birthed and coming into play, you know. So the collapsing of the old, of the dead, is going to, of course, it's of course going to be kind of chaotic and crazy at first, you know. And it's probably just not going to, it's going to be like, what is going on, you know. But as it, like I said, as it proceeds, as it progresses, the new timeline is going to start to get bigger and come in, you know. And then that's when things are going to align and make more sense, you know, especially if you're already on that frequency. You're going to see it, you're going to know it, you're going to hear it, you're going to, like, it's all around you, you know. Like, we're on a new timeline, nature is moving different. Even when you talk about the sun and the moon and stuff and the stars, like how I was saying earlier, the sun is even emitting solar flares right now, which are very, very powerful. Because, well, first of all, on Earth, all life comes from the sun, you know. All nature, humans, animals, no matter which you name it, all the life within it comes from the sun. All the oxygen, all of the photon energy, it comes from the sun, you know. So if the sun gets hotter and it starts to emit these solar flares, that's gonna basically like upgrade the energy and the life that's already here on planet Earth, you know. So that's why you see the sun getting hotter and you see winter dying off. Like, it's not going to be the way it used to be, you know. You see just so much unusual things going on the planet, within nature and everything, and with the sun. And it's only going to get crazier and crazier, you know, because like I said, old timeline going out, new timeline coming in. So it's going to get crazy before it gets good. Point blank, you know. But yeah, it's nothing to be afraid of, though, because it's, if anything, it's something really nice, because it's almost like a reset to where things will go back to, of course we're going in the future, but still things will go back to the natural ways, you know. Because like I said earlier too, if the veil is getting thinner, that means that the natural ways are going to start to show itself more, because the veil is thinner, you know. The consciousness is rising, it's awakening, you know. So it's nothing to be afraid of. It's a natural thing, you know, a natural process, you know, especially when it comes to nature. If nature is doing it, is on it, then you know it's natural. It's something that must take place, you know. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, if you're spiritually tapped in and aligned, you're gonna immediately just notice this and just become aware of it. You know, like it's not that hard anymore, to be honest, because the veil was getting so thin, you know. So yeah, new timeline, new change, you know. So make it worth it. All right, peace.